In 2006,
well, I moved 3 years ago.
my mum and dad decided for our family that we would
For some
move
reason
to
I just can't forget the date.
because a lot of my dad's family was
seared
moving
into
here,
my brain,
but
so
also because they thought that we'd have better. Back in 2006, my mum and dad decided for our family that we would move to Perth because a lot of my dad's family was moving here, but also because they thought that we'd have better opportunities in regards to just opportunities with education and hopefully later on in our working careers. So yeah, we just decided to have a garage sale, sold up everything, and yeah, just moved around in Gisborne to stay with my different siblings for a bit before we left, and then I attended Tane for 7 weeks, and then yeah, got on a plane and flew over just like that.
Well, I moved 3 years ago, and I moved purely out of the necessity that it was too expensive for me to live in New Zealand anymore. Recent breakup, I still had child support obviously, and it just became too expensive, so I moved over here myself to get ahead, to make more money, and spent a month living out of my sister's house trying to get work, and then finally had a break to get into the mines, so I went there, and ever since, in the first year met Anna, and I moved back to town and progressed, and together we've opened up a tyre shop, so and it's really going well.
I moved over on the 11th of November in 2010, and it was pretty much 2 months after the first earthquake at Christchurch, and I wasn't really coping with the aftershocks, so I moved over with my cat, and I stayed at my brother's house for a couple of months. I got paid off some debt in New Zealand and met a couple of friends and started floating over here. So I've been here for 4 years, coming up 4 years now.
Well, it was in 1989 when my wife, our eldest son and our daughter came. Originally, because work back home had been wasn't the greatest, and it was just something we wanted to do. We wanted to have a look around, and just see what we could do as far as thinking of ourselves, but also thinking of the children coming up behind us to give them more opportunities. So we thought Australia would be a good starting point, and we were given the invitation to come over by a family member, and we thought we'd take them up on that, and we haven't really looked back.
I moved to Perth, Western Australia on May the 18th, 2006, and I remember because it was the last Poroneihana of Dame Taogaga, the lady, and it was a Wednesday, I think it was, and I came to Perth with my wife. We'd only got married that same year, 2006 in March. Sat there and had a think about where we should go in the world, and we chose Perth. And the main reason was we had some family here. Either Perth or Melbourne, we've got some other family there, but we thought we'd come to Perth because it was further away distance than Melbourne, and if we didn't like it in Perth, we'll go back to Melbourne. So yeah, that's the sort of when I arrived, which is about just over 8 years ago now. I arrived to Perth, Western Australia with a plan, a 2-year plan in mind. 8 years later, still here, so yeah. But no regrets in terms of why we moved, and maybe the only regret would be that we didn't move early. But we're here now, we're doing what we're doing, and we love it.
For some reason I just can't forget the date. It's just like seared into my brain, so anytime someone asks me, I just go 29th of July, that 2007, that was the day that I moved here. I had a 2-hour delay. So when I got to the airport, I had to wait an extra 2 hours in order to get on the flight. But yeah, I just never forget it. That was the day that I moved to Australia, and that was the day that I got here. I came over by myself. I didn't actually come with anybody, but I was moving to family. I had my nan and Koro already here, and I've got a couple of cousins as well. So yeah, I pretty much moved to them. I just my reasons for moving was just back home, especially in Rotorua, it's just not much there for me in terms of myself. That's just me and my personal situation. Like, I was just basically running in a circle, and so I was just, well, want to do something else. So yeah, my nan had already moved over previously, and they said, if you want to come over, you got a place to stay. So I ended up messaging them and saying, well, I'm thinking about coming over, and said to my mum, I'm thinking about going to Australia, and next thing I know, I bought a ticket, and that's how I ended up here.
So yeah, I moved to Australia in January of 2007, so I've been here about 7.5 years now. I originally moved over after I graduated from Canterbury Uni, and I came here to do graduate studies at UWA. It was kind of a long shot at the time. I applied when I was back in Christchurch. I didn't know anything about Perth. I hadn't even Googled it at that stage, I remember. But anyway, I applied for this graduate studies, and things all just fell into place, and I jumped on a plane and moved over. So I didn't move over with anybody at the time, but a close uncle of mine lived here at that time, and his boys as well, so that was awesome. So I ended up staying with him for a couple of months to get my feet. And then within no time, a lot of my friends from Canterbury, who are more often than not engineers or geologists, they all started moving over. So I ended up having quite a lot of friends from New Zealand make the move within about a year of me coming over as well, which was awesome. So yeah, 7.5 years now. I only intended to, I'm not sure what I intended to do. I came over for that 1 year of study and fell in love with the place and never left. Yeah, 7 years has gone like that. It's yeah, it's awesome.